Now, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says there will be no relaxation of visa rules for India as he begins a two-day visit to strengthen trade and cultural ties. He's leading a delegation to Mumbai to promote investment following the new UK-India trade deal. The agreement cuts tariffs on cars, whiskey, textiles and jewellery. The trip also saw a major announcement for the film industry. 3 Bollywood movies will be shot in the UK, and that will be starting next year. For more on this, I'm joined by independent journalist and podcast host Leigh-Ann Tandon. Leigh-Ann, it's such a pleasure to have you back on the show. Let's start with Keir Starmer. He met with business leaders in Mumbai earlier. Is this trip about diplomacy, or do you think it's more about investment?
Both, Leigh-Ann. It's about diplomacy and about investment, about posturing in the UK, that this deal, they meant business. It's a business, absolutely a business trip that means business. And it is going as a partner, not as a patron, re-establishing and renewing the ties between India and the UK, not as aid but ambitious. So it's very business. The posturing is full business. The way Keir Starmer has gone as the biggest delegation, the way it is covered in India is also that the biggest delegation from Britain is coming to the UK. It's acknowledgement of the fact that India is on the rise. They do need the growth market. The UK needs the growth market and the business and the jobs that it is going to encourage here in the UK. So it's very much a strategic, very much a diplomatic trip that means business, Leigh-Ann.
So he's meaning business on his trip, but the visit follows that landmark trade deal that India and the UK signed in July, and that came 3 years after they started negotiating. So it's a pretty long time. And who benefits the most from this deal, India or the UK? And how vital is this agreement? As you said, they're there for business.
Both. Though each country would say they have done a better job. But if you ask, because the deal has been signed, the intention is there. This whole trip, I think, is to say, now let's have the accountability, let's have the nuts and bolts in place and implement it, because UK needs it and India would also want this to go ahead. So it is, and you can see the posturing, the way it is happening. It went and talked about, immediately got those 3 deals, 3 film deal done, which means that it is saying we mean business. And also, it is an extremely important way to see how it is going about. They've taken people, education and cultural creativity, that kind of sector and coming together is also very, very important. And 14 university heads from the UK are going there. So at this point in time, what UK is saying, we have done the deal. It's taken us so long, almost 20 rounds, 3 to 4 years. Let us implement it. Let us get these tariffs cut. Let us have scotch on the table, Indian dining tables, and let us have the tech and AI and renewable energy, talk about it and do this, have UK as the hub for creative hub, because UK creative industry though is great, but has suffered in job losses, and that could, with the diaspora, the immense diaspora and the number of films that were shot here had sort of gone down. They have gone with all these agendas and all these people who can iron it out straight away and have it up and running and going. Like we said, the 3 film deal. And now Yash Raj Studio, which used to be huge and used to shoot many films in the UK. In fact, Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge happened to be one of the biggest blockbusters of India, was shot in London, but they didn't shoot for 8 years. So this, and then football, selling football. So both the countries are selling what they can sell. For example, for the UK, Scotch and car cars are a big market. India is a huge growth market that they want to deal with. India wants to come back and get technology exchange and have talk about tech and all of that. So both the markets, and they sell there. The major two things from India has been jewelry and textile, and they want to also get that up and running. So both are in a win-win situation, though each country would claim they would have a better deal. But I think it's a deal that would help both the countries.
And it's really interesting because Modi and Starmer will be meeting tomorrow. And when it comes to global issues, we know they have very different positions when it comes to Russia. Will Starmer possibly try and pressure Modi to stop buying Russian oil, as they are desperate to see an end to this war in Ukraine, the Europeans?
I started by saying that this is a deal between partners and not patrons. And the way Starmer is going with Prime Minister Starmer is going with 125 people, posturing business, it is not, and India over a period of time has maintained the fact that the proximity to Russia or buying of Russian oil is a need for the country. So it is not I think there is an understanding, an understatement, which is there, that India is not here to listen to you anymore. We can, of course, take it. If you have a suggestion, you can make it, but we would not kind of accept. It is not a prerogative and you can't use it as a lever, because it is a deal between equals. UK needs India more in terms of the growth market and the kind of youth that the country has and the demographic dividend that the country has. So I don't think Prime Minister Keir Starmer is going to go as far as saying that don't buy the oil, but it could be that he gestures it by saying, invest in renewable energy. And also looking at the way India is going, they are more into Make in India. Their defense spending vis-a-vis Russia has come down as well. The dependency is slowly coming down. So answer to your question, I don't think it's going to be a leverage that can be had or a suggestion that can be made. But of course, from the sidelines and saying that your dependency could be more in renewables so that the world is a better place, that kind of stuff could happen. But I don't think there's something to say, do this. And it's a partners meeting, not patrons, where one could talk to anybody.
And Loveena, we also just heard Keir Starmer there on his way to India, and he made it very clear there is no relaxation of the visa rules. How do you think this will impact relations, or do you think India maybe expected this stance?
Actually, very interesting. When the FTA was signed, Commerce Minister of India, Piyush Goyal, was here, and I did an exclusive interview with him. And I asked him this very specific question about visa, and he categorically denied, saying that visa is not a concern. Visa is not a key that opens any doors or shuts any door when it comes to FTA. So, but visa or immigration has been constantly been played out in the media as being a key to this deal being implemented or this deal being signed. And the question was answered on similar lines by the foreign secretary who came to Chatham House as well when he was asked. So I think it is not going to be the deciding factor. Also, these things can be done more strategically. For example, the 3 years NI already, which was very controversial here in the UK, has already been agreed. In addition to this, youth schemes could come. So these things could have a backdoor entry, but on the face of it, I do not think that, I think India will rest and not use it too much. In fact, on the face of it, they say that they've never used it. But even now, they will bow down and not make it a kind of hard and fast rule to get anything done. So I don't think visa would play out as much, and many other things like youth schemes and 3 years of NI and all of that can be done to achieve similar things.
Loveena Tandon, it's been brilliant to have you on the show and your analysis and insights. Thank you so much for your time.